lifelong neighbor, friend, Mr. Gregg.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There's some seats for you people in the back right up here. If you'd like to come down in front, well, we'll wait for you. Okay, just not. They want to stay back there. Okay. Memorial Day. One of the busiest days of the year. We try to jam a lot of things into a little area. Today, why the chairman of the committee that decides where we're going to have this decided that it's best to have it in here. The chairman, of course, is not here, but believe me, he's pretty influential, and he's probably right, because those clouds are, he governs those clouds, not us. So it's cozy in here, and there's room enough for everybody. You're comfortable. And by the time I speak for 2 hours like I did up at the school, why you realize that how important that comfort is. No, it's not going to be anything like that. It's just going to recap a few things that I think are important. Memorial Day to us now today, first part of the day anyway, has to do a lot of remembering. A lot of you don't remember, or most of you don't remember, or none of you remember, on December 7th in 1941, when there were 2,000 of our young men entombed in the hull of the Arizona at Pearl Harbor, still there. A lot of you don't remember that the Philippines and the fall of all the islands to the Japanese and our entry into the war. A togetherness time, certainly, but yet very tragic. D-Day, for instance. 8,000 Americans, can you believe that? 8,000 Americans died in one day. That was D-Day. Beyond that, then there were Vietnam. What an unforgiving war. What a waste. And fighting in the jungles of Vietnam. Those guys had it as tough as anybody. These are the kind of guys that we're honoring today. If they're not here, why, we're honoring them. We're honoring the 8,000 that died at D-Day. Way up at the Yellow River, North Korea. Those guys ran against the Chinese on the Chinese-North Korean border. Ill-prepared for a cold winter. Not annihilated, but got beat pretty bad and shoved back down into South Korea. We're honoring those guys that perished then. What a way to go. What a place to be. We're honoring the guys that lost maybe not their whole body, but parts of their body in all the Middle East conflicts that we've been in. We're not sure why we're there or what we're doing there, but it's costly. And we're also honoring those guys today. But you know what we've got to honor, and we never do that very good. They're not maybe gone. But I want to honor the people that stay home, the moms and dads that said goodbye to their son in the 1940s or the 1950s or whatever war they were going off to, said goodbye to them, not knowing when they would be back, not knowing what kind of conflict they were getting into. Talk about a tough go. Stay at home and see their son go and have to worry about where he is. Let me use my own instance. I was 18 years old and I left home and I hugged my mom and I did my dad, but I was excited to get there because I was so excited to be a soldier and I was excited to win the war. I didn't even think about the tragic circumstances that I would be leaving my mom into. Communications were nil at that time. I could write letters, sure, but when I got overseas, I couldn't write a letter. I was on the boat when D-Day happened. My mom didn't know whether I was made it for D-Day or whether I was laying on the beach, and I think about that so many times that I never showed the emotion that I should have when I left home. And of course, I didn't know what I was really getting into anyway. But I feel for all the moms and dads that are staying at home while their sons go out and protect us. So we thank a lot of things. We've got a lot of people to thank, but we designate our American Legion to keep us in mind, to keep remembering from year to year. If it weren't for them, well, we wouldn't be here today. So we know they do a lot of arranging, a lot of fixing up, and a lot of getting ready. And without that, why we wouldn't be talking about remembering. We will already have forgotten, and that's just what we don't want to have happen. We've designated our American Legion to do that for us year after year after year. We just gotta take it for granted. So what a job they do. We love put on a program like this why you need a lot of people cooperating. Always like when Rachel sings the Star Spangled Banner, I always cry just a little bit. A tear comes down there. So meaningful. It's heard her at basketball games and everything, so we appreciate her. She's got her dad with her, just like I got my granddaughter with her. We got to take care of her. Scott's going to sing later on tonight. You'll appreciate that too. You guys, it's not your biggest dream to get out this early in the morning and come up here. We like it and we appreciate it, but we probably know that this is very probably idea that you will be here. So you probably didn't do it on your own, but anyway, you're here. We're glad of that. And of course, then all of the American Legion guys that we appreciate that. It all goes into the memory. And memory is what we've got left. And this is a new generation that I'm turning it over to now. I'm in a World War II generations that has pretty well petered out. There's not many of us left. So other people have to stand up and take responsibility and designate the American Legion and endorse the American Legion to help promote this promotion today. That's too bad we're not out enjoying the sunshine and the beautiful atmosphere that we have in our cemetery. But as you go home, I drive through there and take a look at that cemetery and just realize how nice it looks. The little rain makes it green. It makes us be inside maybe, but it's green and it's pretty. And by the time we get out of here, the sun will probably be shining, so we should take those things. You know, I was at the school a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, I guess. And I talked to a junior class up there. And I just told them some of the chronological events of a 18-year-old kid going into that time period. And they found it very interesting. And since that time, why, there's been several people that have asked to hear that again. do that later on, next week or following week, or sometime in the middle of June. We're going to do that again down at the library, and if any of you have any ideas, you'd like to come down and listen to me. Why, that's all it is. It's just me. And, but I tell you my experiences. And you're welcome to come down. Just let me give you your email or your phone number, or let the library know that you would like to come down and listen to that. We'll put it together and then get back to you. You know, I haven't got anything else to say, but except the final thing that I said to the 8th grade, or to the 7th grade, to the junior class the other day. Thanks for your attention, and I can tell from up here that you're paying attention to me. You're not antsy and not nervous about having to be inside instead of outside. So I thank you all for coming today. It tells quite a bit, I think, of your dedication. It relates to the dedication that we have received up here on the stage. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening, and thank you for asking. I don't come at a cheap price, so but that's all I have to say. Okay? Back over to you. Thanks.